Timeline anomalies falling through a crack in time. I went outside of London with a group of people to visit someone dear to us. About an hour into our drive, one of our passengers wanted to badly go to the bathroom. So we pulled up next to a gas station that had toilet facilities. He got out and went, whilst the rest of us stayed in the car as we didn't need to go. I felt a sudden shift when he got out, a slight jolt, but none of the others seemed to notice, so I didn't say anything. Anyway, this person eventually came out of the toilet and came towards the car and us waiting for him. He looked in our direction with a puzzled look on his face, and we all said, "Hurry up and get in, that we don't want to be late." And as we're still a way to go towards our destination, but he totally ignored us. We opened the car door and told him to hurry up and get in, but he continued to blank us. We thought at first he was just playing a prank, but why would he? Because we were on our way to see someone who had health issues. I got out and went right up to him and told him to stop messing around and that we didn't want to be parking there any longer, as the traffic wardens in the UK, well, in England, has a very bad reputation in not giving anyone a second before booking them for parking on the streets. So I kept saying, "Get in," and he kept ignoring me. So I got back in the car as it was so cold. And he was beginning to look angry and mumbling and also looking so perplexed. By now, the rest of the group started freaking out. I didn't want to be the first one to say it, but when I first felt that peculiar shift, I had an idea forming in my mind of what it could mean because I've had so many of those experiences before, but I didn't want to give voice to it. I had had that experience, that shift feeling many, many times, but I was always on my own, apart from one occasion with my young daughter. Anyway, back to us in the car. One person said, "It's like he can't see us or hear us." Then he walked off in anger and faded away. We looked on in awe, but the others more than me, as I was used to such things. I tried to calm them down, but I didn't want to tell them what I knew had happened. Oh no, didn't want to be called weird by them. I've already had enough of that, thank you. So I'm in the car with the group. I started to look behind us down the road, and it seemed as though something was wrong on the road behind us. It seemed hard, like to explain really, but there was a kind of stillness. And although I could see buildings and such, it was like there was a nothingness to it as far as I'm able to describe it. Like time had stopped or something, and that we in the car became frozen in time or in that moment in time. Hard to describe, but we could still animate, move about, talk to each other, and such. Eventually, we said, "We're going to have to leave him, and maybe he will see us and get in the car on our way back." So we moved off a little way, but there was no reaction that coming from him apart from an angry, then sad, then frustrated look as he sort of faded back in, a frustrated look on his face as he continued to mumble to himself. Then I made a suggestion. I told the driver, let's circle around the gas station and come around right back to where we were there instead of driving off and leaving him there. So we drove around the station, came back to our original spot, still standing there, looking angry and pacing up and down. We opened the door again and told him we can't wait any longer. We can't waste any more time. That we were leaving, and why would he get in? But everyone realized, had to admit, that he just couldn't see us. So we had to drive off. We eventually got to our destination, everyone in a state of extreme stress. As we were driving to where we were going, it was the most strange and inexplicable feeling of what just happened. Well, mostly for them, as they didn't want to accept, or they were afraid to accept what had happened. So we all got caught in maybe what would be best described as a pocket of time created around us at that gas station. That was the shift I felt when he came back from the bathroom originally. We could see him, but he couldn't see us. And it explained that really odd nothingness feeling behind us on the stretch of road that we had traveled up until we stopped at the gas station. We made our visit to the gentleman that we had gone to see, but couldn't stay long as we wanted to stay as long as we wanted to because we were so worried about our companion we had to leave behind. Anyway, we got to the same gas station, and I said, I hope we can see him there. Mind you, we were gone for more than 2 hours at that gas station again, a shift, and all the empty feeling buildings took on life, energy again. We saw him standing, pacing the same spot. He asked us why were we not there when he came out from the toilet. We said we were there talking to you, shouting at you to stop dawdling and get in. He said that we weren't there and that we didn't speak to him and that when he came out of the toilet that we were gone. He couldn't believe that we waited for ages for him and then had to leave him and go to our intended destination and came back hoping that we would find him by the gas station. To him, it was only like 10 minutes that he was waiting, yet to us, hours had gone by. That day, I believe, we fell through a crack in time, experienced a time jump. I don't really have the proper words to explain it, but that was one experience that happened. So it would be interesting if you know of anyone or yourself that might have had a similar experience or any kind of experience with time. I'd be really interested to hear. I don't know if those of you listening might have heard about an organization called CERN, CERN, that is located in Switzerland, and they have various scientists messing about with time and splitting atoms using the Large Hadron Collider, the LHC. I mean, that's something that you could possibly research for yourself. But it seems as though that they have fractured time and they've kind of like let the genie out of the bottle and now they can't put it back in or they don't know how to because I have experienced so many of these timeline jumps that it is just It's just unbelievable. And when I first experienced them, you find excuses to explain them. But I have experiences where I'm going down the road and there's a particular street name, and I might go and have a coffee, and when I come back, that street name is totally changed. And if I say to someone, what happened, they would swear blind that the new name change was always that one. So I kind of got used to keeping certain things to myself. But anyway, as I said, I would love to hear from you if you have had any kind of experiences in any shape or form dealing with time. Thanks for listening, Diana, homemaker and metaphysician.